All right, first and foremost, we give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name is only begotten Son, YASHARAHLA. Back at y'all with another Friday night class. Somebody get Jeremiah, not Jeremiah, it's like Genesis. No, Deuteronomy, give me Deuteronomy, right? 33. Started about 8. Who knows what yesterday was? That's right. It was Haitian Flag Day yesterday. Everybody familiar with that? Nope. Everybody should be familiar with that and learn that, all right? And know that every May 18th, all right? That's Haitian Flag Day. So let's read about it in the Bible real quick. Give me Deuteronomy 33. Starting at 8, read to about, what is that, 11 or 12? Matter of fact, just read 11. That's the point.
Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 11 says, bless Yahweh, his substance.
His substance, read on.
And accept the work of his hands. Smite through the loins of them that rise against him.
Smite through the loins of them that rise against him. Read on.
It says, and of them that hate him, that they rise not again.
So that's what happened. That's how the tribe of Levi, the so-called Haitian, was able to get independence. The Most High prophesied us through Moses that we would get independence. We'd be able to strike through the loins of those that hated us. That's what the Haitian Revolution was all about. All right, 1804, everybody. If y'all don't know it, y'all should know it. Y'all should definitely go learn about it.
Yeah, which was the only tribe prophesied to conquer their oppressors. I mean, Gad got the promise to, but that's not going to come to the end.
Yeah.
Levi was actually going to be doing it while his oppressor was trying to oppress him.
That's right. And we're going to go into some of the history, how after Levi, after we did that, we was going around and trying to get with other tribes to help other tribes do it, especially the tribe of Issachar, but it just wasn't working out the same way. You see what I'm saying?
Remember you brought out that article where they tried to, remember during the slavery time?
Oh, we was trying to free Judah. We were trying to Judah come.
Trying to get the Judah to reveal in our lions. Well, we didn't want to, we was old lions. We didn't want to revolt.
They was wearing rompers and whatnot on the plantation. So
they said we got to get
the original romper.
They said, didn't they say it was like we got to get the Levites out of here because they're trying to influence the
Judahites. Trying to influence Judah to go into a. We're gonna read about how Andrew Jackson. Everybody who knows who Andrew Jackson is, right? You've seen him on your money, haven't you? Right, he's on the dub, I think. No, he's on the dub. The $5 bill. So he's on the dub. That's the one they getting ready to put Harriet Tubman in his place on the dub, right? On the right there.
I thought he was gonna be on the front and she was gonna be on the back or something like that. She was gonna be on the front, he was gonna be on the back.
That's just great, right? Yeah. He's known as the great Indian killer. All right, that's what he was known for, killing all the Gadites. He really hated the tribe of Gad, the so-called Native American Indian. So we're gonna read about here in a minute some of the instances how he was trying to get us up out of America. Then he tried to come and basically pacify us, and we joined his army and helped him kill some other so-called white people. So it's a lot of history. It's a lot of history there. Just if you just take a look at from about 1790 to, just about 50 years to about 1840, you're going to see all kind of history just dealing directly with the tribe of Levi, the so-called Haitian, and what we were doing, the interventions we were doing throughout the Americas and whatnot, trying to help the tribes and starting all kind of hell for the so-called white man. So that was powerful.
Introducing a dangerous doctrine.
Exactly, as it says that we introduced a dangerous doctrine to the Negro in America, a doctrine of freedom. We were going around threatening white people. We just didn't care. You see what I'm saying? Once we came to America, why? Because of what we did. Because the French army was, at the time when we defeated the French army, was the most powerful army in the world. America, England, Spain, couldn't nobody see the French. French was giving everybody the business under Napoleon. Everybody know who Napoleon is, right? Napoleon led a 60,000-man army, and a group of unarmed slaves were able to destroy these guys over the course of about 13 years. You see what I'm saying? So after that, America, we came to America with the same mentality, and of course, the white man wasn't very fond of it. So we're gonna read about it, and we're gonna read about some other stuff, and then let me see here. Pull it up.
Levi, were you guys outnumbered too?
No, No, we weren't technically outnumbered. It was a lot of. They brought a lot of slaves into Haiti. That's how they was able to make. He was able to produce so much, is because of how many slaves that they had actually brought in. Didn't even make no kind of damn sense how many slaves they brought in. But okay, yeah, here it is. We're gonna start with this one. Let me show you. Well, basically, this is about. You said what? We get ready? Bigger slide. Right here? Okay. Get you some glasses out. So, but what a lot of people don't know about is how the so-called Haitian built Louisiana. A lot of people don't know that. There wasn't a whole lot of Negroes in Louisiana before the Haitian arrived. Pretty much the majority of Negroes that are from Louisiana. We're talking about not that moved to New Orleans later on. That is from there and was in slavery there and things like that all came from Haiti. A lot of people don't know that. But go ahead.
It says Louisiana and her Caribbean parent colony developed intimate links during the 18th century centered on maritime trade, the exchange of capital and information, and the migration of colonists. For such beginnings, Haitians exerted a profound influence on Louisiana's politics, people, religion, and culture. The colony's officials, responding to anti-slavery plots and uprising on the islands, banned the entry of enslaved Saint Dominicans.
Saint Dominican is a term that was placed on the Haitian before we had our independence. All right, Haiti is actually the name that the indigenous Indians from the tribe of Simeon had on the whole island. Then we named it that. The white man called it Saint Dominique. All right, go ahead.
Slide it down.
My fault. But as we see here, they tried to stop us from migrating up in there, right? Just like now, when Obama was leaving office, what did he do? He trying to stop, put a ban on Haitian migration. You see what I'm saying? But we here in San Diego, every other damn day, we seeing 20, 30 more damn Haitians popping up all over San Diego, coming from up over Mexico. You see what I'm saying? So just like then, you're going to see they tried to stop it then, and even more came. As soon as they try to stop it, it's like the number triple double. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Their rebellious actions would continue to impact upon Louisiana's slave trade and immigration policies throughout the age of the American and French revolutions.
Go ahead.
These two democratic struggles struck fear in the hearts of the Spaniards.
AKA white people. White people were terrified over all these Haitians coming over, right? Go ahead.
Who governed Louisiana from 1763 to 1800. They suppressed what they saw as seditious activities and banned subversive materials in a futile attempt colony from the spread of democratic revolution.
Basically, when the Haitian came, we came more. Haitians were basically typically more educated in the French language, than how other slaves were being educated in whatever language that they was on, right? It wasn't like a crime for us to read and write like it was for everybody else. So what we was doing was, when it says subversive materials, is we was creating propaganda and spreading it so it would implant these ideas for uprising. Go ahead.
In May 1790, a royal decree prohibited the entry of black enslaved and free from the French West Indies.
From the French West Indies. That's the tribe of Levi. French West Indies is like, of course, Haiti being the capital, but also Martinique, Guadeloupe. Like this brother, his brother-in-law is Haitian, but he's going on vacation. He's going to Guadeloupe. All his family in Guadeloupe. French Guyana, even quiet as it's kept, Trinidad, St. Lucia. Most of this is known as the French West Indies. Go ahead.
A year later, the Haitian Revolution started. Click inside of it.
Perfect. Go ahead.
The revolution in Saint Domingue, multiracial exodus. The French led with the bondspeople.
They fled with their bondspeople, meaning who brought slaves to Louisiana? French people who brought slaves directly from Haiti, brought them directly to Louisiana, right? Before their slaves could join the revolution, right? So go ahead.
They managed to keep. So did numerous free people of color, some of whom were slaveholders themselves. In addition,
to which this is something else. People, somebody try to challenge me on black people didn't own slaves. Black people own slaves. All right. This is not anything new. Matter of fact, somebody give me Jeremiah 34 real quick. Black people own slaves.
They showing in that TV series
Underground.
Right.
You got a slave, you got prosperous, you got money. He was buying slaves and then letting them go.
Because sometimes you're able to quote unquote earn or win your freedom. You see what I'm saying? Slaves were buying their way out of slavery, and then what were they doing? Then they was buying slaves too. All right, they wanted to be the damn white man. That's why they try to earn their. What do you think you got to do to please a white man to make him free you out of slavery? All right, you got to become him. He says, you know what? He's white. He's all right. We can let him go. He's going to further our agenda. Jeremiah 34, and let me take a look when you get it. I'll tell you where to start. Let's start it.
Jeremiah 34 and 16. It says, but you turned and polluted my name and caused every man his servant and every man his handmaid, whom ye had set at liberty at their pleasure, to return and brought them into subjection.
What does that mean? Israelites enslaved each other. That's what that means. All right. This would happen. And this is in the latter parts of the book of Jeremiah, right? Who knows what happens during the book of Jeremiah to the nation of Israel? Who knows that history? Come on. Y'all got to know y'all contemporary times of each prophet, who he was living amongst, what he was dealing with. Babylon. The Israelites went into captivity into Babylon. Part of the reason, the last straw really, was the fact that Israelites had each other in slavery. Right? It's wrong. It wasn't right.
You can go back to Joseph.
To get to the 12 brothers. All right. Did not all the brothers except Benjamin sell Joseph into slavery? That happened. You said what? He's right. So this happened. It wasn't, it's not, don't make it right. You see what I'm saying? But it happened, right? So go ahead.
To be unto you for servants and for handmaids.
Exactly, right. So go ahead back to it.
It says, in addition, in 1793, a catastrophic fire destroyed 2/3 of the principal city, Cap Francis. Present day.
Camp Francais.
Francais.
Back Francis.
Yeah, okay.
Francis.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Present day Cap Haitian.
Uh-huh.
And nearly 10,000 people left the island for good.
So you had 10,000 people that left. Where did the majority of them 10,000 people go? Directly to Louisiana. Go ahead.
In the ensuing decades of revolution, foreign invasion, and civil war, it says thousands more fled the turmoil eastward to Santo Domingo, present-day Dominican Republic, or to nearby Caribbean islands. Large numbers of the immigrants, black and white, found shelter in North America, notably in New York, Baltimore.
New York. There's a famous. Who's seen the movie Hoodlum before? You seen Hoodlum, right? I'm surprised ain't nobody seen Hoodlum in this room. I thought I had a room full of black people. Yeah, let's say. Who's in it? Larry Fishburne. Lawrence Fishburne is the star.
Everybody's in it.
Yeah, he plays Bumpy Johnson.
Yeah, Bumpy Johnson, right? And who is his boss?
The white one?
No, that was Dutch Schultz, right? It was the white boy. It was the woman that he was working. He was coming up under the woman. That's an old Haitian woman that literally descends from the people who fled up there in New York, going all the way back to that time. All right, these are literally, because that movie, Bumpy Johnson, all these are real life crime figures that they done made movies about.
I see the documentary about the Haitian woman.
No, it was before Mike Epps. Yeah, it's Lawrence Fishburne, like early Lawrence Fishburne, probably early to mid-90s, mid-90s. Great movie, good movie. But yeah, so she was his boss was some old Haitian lady that comes from the people who fled up in Haiti. I mean, from Haiti to New York during this time. Go ahead.
Notably in New York, Baltimore, 53 ships landed there in July 1793. Philadelphia, Norfolk, Charleston, and Savannah, as well as in Spanish Florida.
So you have all these Haitians that's fleeing up into all these places and states, right? So you actually have, that's why, matter of fact, give me Genesis 49 real quick. And 6 or 7.
Genesis 49:6. O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly.
Skip to 7.
Verse 7. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce.
Go ahead.
And their wrath, for it was cruel.
Read.
I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel.
I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. This is how the so-called Haitian, the Levite, was scattered. You see what I'm saying? You had them, we was getting scattered amongst Judah and Gad all the way back then. Before we started, Mike, before we would call ourselves Haitian, we was getting scattered. So if you left Haiti before you called your, before the concept of being Haitian existed, what are you going to identify yourself at? You're just going to amalgamate to wherever you went. You see what I'm saying? And call yourself an African-American Negro. So it's a lot of people who actually could be descendants of Haitians or Levite, could be from the tribe of Levi, who don't even know it. You see what I'm saying? Well, go ahead. Oh, back here.
Yeah, that was it on that.
Back
it
here.
says, nowhere on the continent, however, did the refugee movement exert as profound an influence as in southern Louisiana.
All right, let me slide. This is all via the New York Public Library, which, if anybody was to look it up, it's going to cite all the sources for all this information. But go ahead.
Between 1791 and 1803, 1,300 refugees arrived in New Orleans. It says the authorities were concerned that some had come with seditious ideas.
What were the authorities concerned about? Seditious ideas. Sedition. What is sedition? And what does sedition mean?
Strife and contention amongst each other.
Strife and contention. They were afraid that these Haitians was going to come and spread more revolution. Go ahead.
In the spring of 1795, Point Cope.
We'll say coupe.
Coupe? Was the scene of an attempted insurrection during which planners' homes were burned down. Following the incident, a free what is that?
Just, you could just say immigrant. I don't understand why they just use it. Just is a French word for immigrant. Right. They keep using it just in the English article. Go ahead.
A free immigrant from Saint Domingue, Louis Benoit.
Go ahead.
Louis Benoit, accused of being very imbued with the revolutionary maxims which have devastated the said colony, was banished.
They're getting rid of niggas, man, right? He's in boo, meaning he is indoctrinated. He believes this and he wants to spread this message of freedom amongst our people. Go ahead.
Pantalba, to take heed of the dreadful calamities of Saint Domingue and of the germ of revolt only too widespread among our slaves.
You see that? This is a quote now. So this is what they were saying. They said it was a germ. Us wanting freedom, they look at as a germ. This is why they look at what we do right now. They look down on it so much. It's a germ for us to want our own. It's a germ for us not to want to be under the so-called white man. Germ for us to want what's right in the sight of God. They hate it. You see what I'm saying? They look at it like that's just the worst thing you can do. Like if you got germs in your house, what you do? You get some Lysol, right? It kills 99.9% of germs, don't it? All right. That's what the white man wants to do with his military, right? So go ahead.
And it's a real mental condition that they have, that they look at us as a mental condition and want to like Sergeant, he put me onto the TV show Underground. And one of the plantation owners was running for political office, and he had a meeting with the people. You remember that, Sarge? Where they was coming up to him, and they was like, now, you know, niggers, they have a real sick, twisted chemical imbalance that makes them want to run away. And I'm talking about this is their pitch, you know what I'm saying, to kind of sway them in a direction, you know, to be a part of their political party.
We have a chemical imbalance.
Man, I'm talking about they were saying all kind of stuff. Each person was coming up to them like, now, you know, niggers, they're prone to run, but it's our duty. It's up to us to cure them and to actually help them. It's a problem that they have, and, you know, we're here to fix it.
That's just
like
great.
They was doing us a service, you know,
great.
to keep us on the plantation.
And what I was going to say, and even now, like, if we just take a look at how America was built, what was America according to the history books, according to what we were taught How did America come to be? Revolution. The Boston Tea Party. This oppressive government that wants to hold all these restrictions on us. We're supposed to get terrorism. We're supposed to rebel against that. Now, if you do that in the spirit of what it is to be an American, you're a terrorist, you're evil, you're the worst thing in the world. Right? You got a mental condition. But this is literally how you built your country. But you're telling me not to do the same thing, Azan. Through the immigrants. They were all immigrants, right? Where did these people come from? They're not Native American. But hold on, but what the Boston Tea Party now? Is it the Boston Tea Party? They dressed up like they was Gadites. They dressed up like they're straight natives, right? See the game they play? Let you do that. Let you dress up like a white man and do a terrorist attack. Dress up in white face. You understand what I'm saying? And do a damn terrorist attack. Right? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I know. No, of course, I ain't telling nobody to do that, right? But go ahead.
It says continued unrest in, I believe, what is that, Point Coupe?
Oh, yeah, Point Coupe, something like that.
Point Coupe, and on the German coast contributed to the decision to shut down the entire slave trade in the spring of 17.
This is Louisiana. They stopped bringing in slaves to Louisiana. They were so afraid of a slave uprising. They said, look, stop bringing slaves here. These Negroes are going to revolt. All right? So let's get...
This the Louisiana we know today, or because back in that purchase it was hella big. So
no, this is just literally like the New Orleans area they talking about. Just the very, you know, the so-called boot, just the bottom of it. This is what they talking about. This is where all it happened at. Go ahead.
In 1800, Louisiana officials debated reopening it, but they agreed Saint Domingue blacks would be barred from entry.
Yeah, they said it's all right. We're gonna bring Negroes back in. They just can't be from Haiti, right? So go ahead.
They also noted the presence of black and white insurgents from the French West Indies who are propagating dangerous doctrines.
Who were doing what?
Propagating dangerous doctrines among our Negroes.
See, and that was the #1 thing that the so-called Haitian was coming to doing, propagating a dangerous doctrine that, guess what? We can win, we could beat them, we could get free. We already did it. You see, go ahead.
It says their slaves seemed more insolent, ungovernable, and insubordinate.
So when there's, of course, when slaves hear about rebellion, you get bold. Just like when anybody, you hear anybody bucking up against authority, it might embolden you and say, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it too. I ain't got to take this. You see what I'm saying? So that's what was happening, right? Go ahead.
Than they had just 5 years before.
Right. Go ahead.
The same year, Spain ceded Louisiana back to France.
All this is leading up to, as a brother referenced to Louisiana Purchase, the power struggle between Spain and France over the region. France ultimately getting the region, and their defeat in the Haitian Revolution, in part, is the largest factor in what led to the Louisiana Purchase. But go ahead.
And planters continued to live in fear of revolts after future Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte sold the colony to the United States in 1803 because his disastrous expedition against Saint Domingue had stretched his finances and military too thin.
It was just over. Now, matter of fact, there's something I want to go to too. Pull up oh yeah, Genesis. I mean, it's like Deuteronomy 33 again. Just pull it up real quick, and then you can continue. I'm gonna elaborate on this. Go ahead.
Events in the island loomed even larger in Louisiana.
That was on that?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, that's it.
Read 11 again, Deuteronomy 33.
Deuteronomy 33 and 11. It says, bless Yahweh, his substance, and accept the work of his hands. Smite through the loins of them that rise against him. It says,
smite through the loins of them that rise against him. We read this earlier. So if we just take a look at this on the surface, of course, we can see somebody beating somebody in a war. But also, there's another layer to it. Or if anybody knows what was one of the main things working against the French during the Haitian Revolution. And that was not Haitian people. Does anybody know? Against the French. The French were getting plagued with something.
Oh, like the black face?
The yellow fever. They were getting yellow fever. Yeah, and they were getting malaria and stuff like that. But what yellow fever, like I said, smite through the loins of them that hate them. Literally, what yellow fever was doing is making them puke their literal guts out. You see what I'm saying? It was really destroying them from the inside out. So that also was a part of the blessing. But we're gonna read a little bit more of this. Some of this we already read. World. Okay, start here. The Black Republic in Louisiana. Hold on. Yeah, start there.
In January 1804, an event of enormous importance shook the world of the enslaved and their owners. The Black revolutionaries, who have been fighting for a dozen years, 60,000 men army, which counted mercenaries from all over Europe.
So that means this Napoleon had a 60,000 man army that he went and got crackers from all over Europe to be a part of. And they got beat down, right? Go ahead.
And proclaimed the nation of Haiti, the original Indian name, the original Indian name of the island, the second independent nation in the Western Hemisphere of the world's first Black-led republic. The impact of this victory of unarmed slaves.
Unarmed slaves, mind you, we didn't have all the arms and munition like a 60,000 man army had. You see what I'm saying? It's totally different. But still, this is how you know it's all of the Most High. Why wasn't nobody else able to do this? It was just all a part of biblical prophecy. Go ahead.
Against their oppressors.
And if y'all watched last year, do what Haitian flag did last year. We did Haitian Independence Day, which is January 1st. There's if you read, everybody knows about the Book of Maccabees, right? In the Apocrypha, right? If you go into the Book of Maccabees, which was led by Levites, so-called Haitians, how we know now, Levites, of course, according to the Bible, you could go point for point in the Book of Maccabees, and every single thing that happened in the Book of Maccabees happened almost exactly during the Haitian Revolution. Every single thing. You see what I'm saying? Showing you that it was that same tribe that was coming right back doing the exact same thing. Of course, as it's written in Ecclesiastes, there's no new thing under the sun, right? So go ahead.
Oh, the impact of this victory of unarmed slaves against their oppressors was felt throughout the slave society. In Louisiana, it sparked a confrontation at Bayou La Fourche. Bayou La Fourche. According to the white residents, 12 Haitians from a passing vessel threatened them with many insulting
and menacing.
Hey, listen, this sounds like a Haitian, right? With many insulting and menacing expressions.
So they just driving by, because y'all seen how them old houses is down south. They built right on the water. You see what I'm saying? So they just driving by, getting that Esau on the damn at their house. Go ahead.
And spoke of eating human flesh, and in general demonstration, great savageness of character.
They in general demonstrated great savageness of character. Go ahead.
Boasting of what they had seen and done in the horrors of Saint Domingo, or Saint Domingue. It says,
"Oh, this is what scared white people so much. We coming off this victory, we riding past Esau like, man, y'all can't mess with. We getting ready to do y'all the same way." You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
The slaveholders' anxieties increased and inspired a new series of statutes to isolate Louisiana from the spread of revolution.
Mm-hmm.
It says the ban on West Indian bondspeople continued, and in June 1806, the territorial legislature barred the entry from the French Caribbean of free black males over the age of 14.
See, when you become a man, that's when they didn't want you up in there, right? Because that's when you could really be effective against them. Go ahead.
A year later, the prohibition was extended. All free black adult males were excluded, regardless of their nationality.
And then they said, look, we don't even want no niggas coming in here, right? Go ahead. We good with the ones we got, right? Go ahead.
It says severe punishments, including enslavement, accompanied the new laws.
Yeah, even if you was free and you came in, they was going to try to put you right back in slavery, right? Go ahead.
However, American efforts to prevent the entry of Haitian immigrants proved even less successful than those of the French and the Spanish.
Kind of like now,
Yeah,
all right?
God.
This is not a new thing, all right? Haitians just know how to pop up places, all right? Y'all thought Mexicans knew how to pop up places, man. Wait till you see Haitians popping up places. Go ahead.
Indeed, the number of immigrants skyrocketed between May
when they put harsher laws, it skyrocketed. Read on.
1809 and June 1810.
Mm-hmm.
When Spanish authorities expelled thousands of Haitians from Cuba.
So Spain was trying to clean out Cuba at the time. Cuba was the #1 place that we was going, all right, before Louisiana. So thousands of us got expelled out of Cuba. So, hey, next stop, of course, is Louisiana, right? Go ahead.
where they had taken refuge 7 years earlier. In the wake of this action, New Orleans Creole whites overcame their chronic fears and clamored for the entry of white refugees and their slaves.
Because they were trying to make it cool for their white relatives to come in with their black slaves, because it was a bond. I mean, it was a ban even on slaves to come in. So they basically were fighting to allow this to happen, and it worked against them. Go ahead.
Their objective was to strengthen Louisiana's declining French-speaking community and offset Anglo-American influence.
At this point, of course, America now owns Louisiana, right? So it's all kind of, like it says, English-speaking white people that are coming down there. So the French white people that's down there are saying, look, we want more French people to come, and this means they're going to have to come with their slaves. You see what I'm saying? So that's the compromise that they made, that it inevitably worked against them. Go ahead.
The white Creoles felt that the increasing American presence posed a greater threat to their interests than the potentially dangerous class of enslaved West Indians.
Go ahead.
American officials bowed to their pressure and reluctantly allowed white immigrants to enter into the city with their slaves. At the same time, however, they attempted to halt the migration of free black refugees. Louisiana's territorial governor, William C.C. Claiborne, firmly enforced that the ban on free black males. He advised the American consul in Santiago de Cuba.
He basically was telling them, don't let them niggas think they're going to come over here. You see what I'm saying? That's in a nutshell, right? Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you got to go back up.
My fault. Boom. Oh, no, I skipped two. My fault. Go ahead.
Boom. Males above the age of 15 have been ordered to depart. I must request you, sir, to make known this circumstance and also to discourage free people of color of every description.
Of every description.
Of every description.
Light skin, dark skin, don't let none of them come. That's what he mean by that, right? Go ahead.
From immigrating to the territory of Orleans.
This before it was called New Orleans, of course, just the territory of Orleans. He sent that letter. Please let all Negroes know you are not welcome, right? Go ahead.
We have already a much greater proportion of that population.
You just go, but just what when the numbers come out, y'all about to see the numbers after he says this, and it's going to astonish you. Go ahead.
We have already a much greater proportion of that population that comports with general interest.
It comports with general interest. We have more black people here than we want. All right, keep them out. Right. So good. Go ahead.
Claiborne and their officials labored in vain.
They labored. They tried hard, but what happened? Go ahead.
It says the population of Afro Creoles grew larger and even more assertive after the entry of the Haitian immigrants from Cuba, nearly 90% of whom settled in New Orleans. 1909 migration brought 2,731 whites.
So we got almost 3,000 white people, but read that.
3,102 free persons of African descent.
So more free black people came than white people, and then watch this.
And 3,226 enslaved refugees.
And then even more slaves came. So you have literally more than double the amount of white people came, so-called Haitian came.
You mean black?
Oh no, double the amount of the black number doubled the white.
Right.
Let's put it like that, right? Go ahead. Enslaved refugees doubling its population.
Yeah, doubling its population. 63% of Crescent City,
which is New Orleans. Go ahead.
Inhabitants were now black.
We now, the so-called Haitian man now was well over half of the population of New Orleans, which is exactly what they didn't want, exactly what they tried to stop, but exactly what the Most High had to happen. So go ahead.
Among the nation's major cities, only Charleston, black majority, was comparable.
It was the blackest city in America, right? Go ahead.
It says the multiracial refugee population settled in the French Quarter and in the neighboring, what is that?
Faubourg. I'm not even trying to say that.
Marigny. Yeah, Faubourg Marigny district, and revitalized Creole culture and institutions. It says New Orleans acquired a reputation as the nation's Creole capital. The rapid growth of the city's population of free persons of color strengthened the three-caste society, white, mixed, and black, that had developed during the years of French and Spanish rule. This was quite different from the racial order prevailing in the rest of the United States.
Why was it different than the racial order that was in the rest of the United States? Slaves, true, but then you see it was 3 castes: white, mixed, and black. Azan.
Because that's where the French and the Spanish.
That's how the French and the Spanish did it, but why was their racial system different than America's racial system?
In France?
In the French colonies and the Spanish colony. There was no such thing as mixed in America. You see what I'm saying? So the French and the Spanish had literally a mixed caste. That's how you get the mestizo. That's where you say, okay, you have Negro, then you have a mestizo, then you have a white person in Spain. Mulatto, then the mulatto, the French had that. Technically, America did not recognize such a thing. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you were just black, and that was just it. You see what I'm saying? That's it. It's one or the other, right? So that's how it was different then. That's why you hear people always talk about their Creole and it's mixed, and which Creole had nothing to do with being mixed, but certain Creole people were mixed. You see what I'm saying? That was an ideology that came from the French colonizers, right? So go ahead.
This was quite different from the racial order prevailing in the rest of the United States, where attempts were made to confine all persons of African descent to a separate and inferior racial caste. It says a situation brought about,
and that goes into a lot of it has to do with the mixed caste that exists in Haiti was, of course, slave masters' relations with their female slaves and the products of that. All right. When we did the whole history and we went into all the stuff that happened in Haiti, you will understand that the thing that messed up Haiti from being a successful country was these descendants of the slave masters that were still amongst us that had black mothers. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
A situation brought about by political reality in the South across class line, all blacks in a single and subservient social caste.
This is the American white man, right? Doesn't matter what class you are, no matter if you're poor or rich, you're white. They unify on being white. The rest of y'all unify on being black, and that's just it. That's as simple as America wanted it, right? So go ahead.
In Louisiana, as lawmakers moved to suppress manumission and undermine the free black presence, the refugees dealt a serious blow to their efforts. In 1810, the city's French-speaking Creoles of African descent, reinforced by thousands of Haitian refugees, formed the basis for the emergence of one of the most advanced black communities in North America.
Yeah, and that's what you see New Orleans was a advanced and progressive black city. Okay, what destroyed New Orleans from being that? It was very recent. It wasn't nothing in the past. Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina is what now New Orleans is now a white city now. You see what I'm saying? After being a black city for about 200 years. You see what I'm saying? So go ahead.
Many Haitian blacks eluded immigration authorities by slipping into the territory through Barataria.
And this is the area. It's right south of Louisiana. New Orleans. And this is where everybody was going to, and this is how they was able to immigrate. They were just going up through these back ways, through these swamps and these bayous, and everybody was just setting up there in Barataria. Right. So go ahead.
A coastal settlement just west of the Mississippi River. Some became allies of the notorious pirates Jean and Pierre Lafitte or Lafitte. Mm-hmm. That's right.
You took a little French.
Honorary Levite.
That's right.
It says white refugees of Haitian Revolution.
These were white pirates. These were everybody heard about white pirates. There was a lot of black pirates, right? Captain Jack. Everybody know what is that? Pirates of the Caribbean. These were French white pirates that was clicking up with the so-called Haitian. Go ahead.
White refugees of the Haitian Revolution, surrounded by marshland and a maze of waterways. Barataria was an effective staging area for attacks on Gulf shipping.
So what does that mean, attacks on Gulf shipping? If it was a good area for attacks on Gulf shipping, what were we doing? We were raiding ships and stealing from the white man. That's what that means, right? So go ahead.
The interracial band of adventurers dominated the settlements.
You see how they try to play it? These are history books try to play it. They try to make it look like it was some type of interracial coalition. They named 2 white people, and it was an interracial coalition. That was a biracial group, right? Go ahead.
The interracial band of adventurers dominated the settlements. Thriving black market economy.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
but pirates and smugglers did not make up the whole of Barataria's fugitive But pirates and smugglers did not make up the whole of Barataria's fugitive residents. It says some 200 free black veterans of the Haitian Revolution, including Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Savory, a former French Republican officer, were among them. In 1799, 700 soldiers opposed to Toussaint Louverture
now that was good. All right, go ahead.
fled to Cuba and later migrated to Louisiana.
So what did that mean? Negroes was having issues with each other, so they ran off. These whole 700 soldiers ran off and went to Cuba, and they eventually went to Louisiana. Go ahead.
In 10, this movement of Haitian soldiers from Cuba had created a black military presence in Louisiana that seriously worried Governor Claiborne.
And naturally, right? Go ahead.
He anxiously requested reinforcements. The number of free black men in and near New Orleans capable of carrying arms, he wrote, cannot be less than 800.
And of course, he was there. He was waking up in cold sweats every night about this, right? Go ahead.
God. Colonel Savory and other Republican veterans of the Haitian Revolution remained committed to the French Revolution's idea of liberty. What is that?
I get it. You could just read what it means.
Yeah. So like it says, to the French Revolution idea of freedom, equality, and fraternity.
And this in part was an issue that was wrong with Colonel Savory here. He said he held on to the French ideals. He still believed in the lies that the white man told him. Like so many of our people, this is the land of liberty and justice and freedom and equality and it all counts. But you've never seen it. You see what I'm saying? It's never happened in your face before, but you just believe it. He believed it, and that's why he had the issues with Toussaint Louverture for that exact reason. And other Negroes was having issues with him as well, ultimately. And later leaders that came and took over after him, believing in the white man too damn much, right? So go ahead. Fraternity, like basically brotherhood, right, camaraderie. Brotherhood, you see what I'm saying? How you having brotherhood with the person who has enslaved you?
Right.
It just doesn't even make sense. But go ahead.
Yeah, we still holding to the same thing.
You see that we still holding to it this day, to this day. But this is after a good 100-200 years of slavery. Imagine now 300-400. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
It says they regrouped to aid insurgents attempting to establish independent republics in Latin America.
So what we were doing, we're going around Latin America, Mexico, Honduras, Ecuador, things like that, trying to help our brothers of the Northern Kingdom get freedom, right? Go ahead.
In November 1813, Savory offered to send 500 Haitian soldiers to fight with the Mexican revolutionaries. When their effort to establish a Mexican government in Texas failed.
They don't ever tell you about this in history. People have heard about the Alamo before, right? Yep. Remember the Alamo. You don't ever remember the Alamo, right? People don't talk about how the Mexicans and the Haitians was teamed up to fight the white man during that time period. It just wasn't enough people during that. So he only had 500 men he brought. You see what I'm saying? That wasn't enough, right? So go ahead.
When the effort to establish a Mexican government in Texas failed, Savory and his men returned to New Orleans. Within the year, however, the colonel and other Haitian veterans will be rallying against the forces of the British Crown.
So what does that mean, they're rallying against the forces of the British Crown? Against the king and queen, but meaning they're joining up with America now. You see what I'm saying? That's who they're teaming up with. They don't, what did the British do to them? Nothing, right? But they're joining with the American white man to fight against the British white man, right? Go ahead. A horrible thing, right? Go ahead.
As British forces threatened to invade New Orleans in 1814, American authorities sought to win the loyalty of battle-hardened black.
I thought you didn't want us there. Now you're seeking to win our love, right? Go ahead.
American authorities sought to win the loyalty of battle-hardened black soldiers like Colonel Savory. They were also well aware of the prominent role that free men had played in slave rebellions. With the English approaching, pacifying them would be strategically sound.
And that's how the white man looks at it. He's only going to be cool to you and pacify you when it is strategically sound for him. When it's a part of his agenda, when it's a part of his strategy, here we go. I'm going to pacify you. I'm going to make you feel good. I'm going to make you feel wanted. Even though I have tried to exhaust all of my resources to keep you out of here, You're here now. I want you. You see what I'm saying? He might do that to all the illegal Latino immigrants. You know what? We didn't want you guys, but sign up. Everybody join the military and let's get in. We're gonna send all of you off to war, right? Come on.
Border Patrol now is like really is a card.
Oh yeah, we seen it when we was every time we go teach at the border, it's nothing but Mexicans in the damn Border Patrol uniform. Just throwing your own people, nigga. This is your. Don't even get me started on a Mexican Border Patrol agent. There's few things worse in life than that. Go ahead.
But think about the time frame. This is 1814. Imagine 50 years later was the what? Emancipation Proclamation that was supposed to just they were on our side. They wanted us, and we were a part of it. You know, we're going to be freed. And now we're looking at white people like, oh my God, Abraham Lincoln is a god now. You know what I'm saying? So this is exactly what they were saying for the purpose of gaining our.
Abraham Lincoln even said that he doesn't care if we're slaves or not slaves. He just wants the war to be over.
Yeah, that's it. They act people act like the Civil War is about Negroes being slaves or not. It was not had nothing to do with that. All right, that just kind of happened and got caught up in the mix of it because they were at war with each other, but they were trading with each other the whole time still as well. Right. A lot of people don't know that, but I mean, really, it's in a lot of history books. They were trading with each other and maintaining cool relationships, but killing each other at the same time. You can't trust a damn white man. Are you kidding me?
They used to line up for war and shoot each other.
Yeah, especially the British. The British, that's the only way they knew how to fight. They would just line up and shoot and then duck and then shoot and then duck. You said what? Who? Yeah, America. Yeah, they brought the natives in. And the French also using it. Who has heard about the French Indian War? Something called the French Indian War, where the French joined up with the natives to fight against the American white man as well. And then they lost. All right. And here's what. Give me Ezra 9 and 14. Matter of fact, real quick. Yeah, we need the niggas now. Ezra in the Bible. Ezra in the Bible.
I got it. Ezra chapter 9.
First and second Ezra. Go ahead.
Ezra chapter 9, verse 14. Should we again break thy commandments?
Read.
And join in affinity.
Join in affinity. Read on.
With the people of these abominations.
Should we have affinity? Should we join up in love and in unison with these other people? Of course we should. Right? Go ahead.
Wouldst not thou be angry?
Won't the Most High God be mad if we do that? And that's why these things were becoming unsuccessful, because of what we were doing. Read on.
With us, till thou hast consumed us, so that there should be no remnant nor escaping.
And that's why we're here now, because we so desperately wanted to join up with them then, and we continue to do it, and we continue to get consumed and judged and punished by the Most High for it. So we have to cease from that ideology, right? So go ahead. No, that's sitting on that back here.
General Andrew Jackson arrived in New Orleans.
Andrew Jackson, right? Go ahead.
In December 1814, and immediately mustered 350 native-born black veterans of the Spanish militia into the United States. Army Colonel Savory raised a second black unit of 250 of Haitian refugee soldiers. Jackson recognized Savory's considerable influence and knew of his reputation as a man of great courage. On Jackson's orders, Savory became the first African-American soldier to achieve the rank of second major.
And this is a huge rank in the Army. That's a major. The white man gave him power to help him out. You see what I'm saying? And he was pacified with that. Give me that in Ecclesiastes, matter of fact. 7 and 7. You see that? This was wrong with the Levi. The Haitian love gifts and bribes. You read about it in the Bible. Your priests have taken bribes. Right, you read about that. The Haitian love a damn bribe. So go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
A gift destroyeth the heart. He got a gift. He feels great because he's a second major in the white man's army. Nigga, you had your own army. Why can't you just be the leader and the commanding general of your own army? Instead, you want to be in the white man's army. Same like Jackie Robinson. You have the Negro League that's outperforming the white man's league, but you want to be the first Negro in the white man's league, right? Also, who's seen the show Sons of Anarchy before in the room? You all have seen it, right? The last episode of Son of Anarchy, the Negro leave his own club to go and join the white man's damn club to be the first nigga on the white man's club.
He gets killed too, right?
No, it's over. The leader of the white man's club dies. right? But the Negro, he just, you see him, he got the Sam Crow colors on.
Yeah.
He puts off the grim bastards. You see what I'm saying? Why would you, a self-respecting black man, leave your own, where you're the leader of something, to become a member of a white man's club? Is called mental retardation. That's what I people suffer from. That can be the only thing, right? So go ahead.
Bring it out.
Yeah, that's right.
The Haitians in Barataria also fought in the Battle of New Orleans. In September 1814, federal troops invaded their community.
Where you at, Slacky? Oh, right here. Okay.
Right, yeah. Invaded their communities and dispersed the Laffites and their followers.
That's the white pirates. Go ahead.
Hundreds of refugees poured into the city. Andrew Jackson offered them pardons in return for their support in defending the city.
They said, look, we don't give a damn what y'all did, what crimes you did. Everybody gonna be pardoned and be straight as long as y'all help us, right? Go ahead.
After the victory, he commended the two battalions of 600 African Americans and Haitian soldiers, whose presence in a force of 3,000 men had proved decisive.
So there was no way the white man was gonna win if it wasn't for all the Negroes helping him, right? Go ahead.
He praised the privateers and gentlemen.
Now we're gentlemen now. I was a nigga yesterday. I'm a gentleman today. This is crazy, right? Overnight. Which now, right? You walk into a place. Good evening, gentlemen. How can I help you, gentlemen, today? Right. You see what I'm saying? You're still a nigga, though. All right, go ahead.
In the back. Privateers and gentlemen of Barataria, who, through their loyalty and courage, redeemed their pledge to defend the country. Says Jackson observed that Captain Savory continued to merit the highest praise. In the last significant skirmish of the battle, Savory and a detachment of his men volunteered to clear the field of a detail of British sharpshooters. Though Savory's force suffered heavy casualties.
The Lord had it to where a lot of them died trying to help and fight for the white man. A lot of them. Go ahead.
The mission was carried out successfully.
But they still was able to kill all them damn British sharpshooters. You see? So go ahead.
Within weeks of the victory, however, Jackson yielded to white pressure to remove the men from New Orleans to a remote site.
So after you saved the white man, it say within weeks, y'all got to get the hell out of New Orleans. You see that? That's the white man for you, right? Somebody give me Sirach 12 and 10 in the red book.
Sirach chapter 12, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
There you go. Never trust your enemy. That's your damn fault. You thought you're a gentleman, you're all these various things. A couple weeks later, you get evicted. All right. Back to the damn swamps and bayous, right? So go ahead. Back here, right? Cap. You got a precept?
Thought I had something. Psalms 55 and 20. He put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Peace with him, right? Go ahead.
He had broken his covenant.
Then he breaks the covenant. You all these various things, and you get pardons, and you're great, and we giving you high praise. Right. Now you niggas got to go, right? So go ahead.
To a remote site in Marshland, east of the city, to repair fortifications.
So not only does he kick us out, he wants us to go rebuild something. This sounds like slavery to me. Yeah. Go ahead.
Savory relayed a message to the general that his men would always be willing to sacrifice their lives in defense of their country.
This sound like a good nigga, man. This sound like a good nigga. I kick you out, and we will always, what did it say? We would always be willing to sacrifice our lives in defense of their country. Nigga, this ain't even you lived here for 10 years. This is your country now? This is crazy. Go ahead.
As had been demonstrated, but preferred death to the performance of the work of labor.
But at least he said, listen, I'm not going to rebuild nothing. I'd rather die. Nigga, we killed so many French people to not be a slave no more. At least he had that much damn dignity. Go ahead.
Jackson, though not pleased.
White man says, nigga has the nerve.
Well, I'll be dead.
And talk like that. Yeah. Like he probably talking, he's French, so he's talking eloquent.
Refrained from taking any action against the troops. In February, the general even lent his support to Savory's renewed efforts to rejoin Republican insurgents in Mexico.
He probably gave us some weapons to go and help the tribe of Issachar with. Let me see something. But the air, yeah, no, it feels a little colder. Okay, this is the last one I want you to read. Go ahead.
Okay.
These last few paragraphs.
Okay. It says in colonial Louisiana and in colonial Haiti, military service had functioned as a crucial means of advancement for both free and enslaved blacks.
Just like in America, the military has always served as a crucial means of advancement for black people. Meaning what? How many hands? Whose grandfather was in the military? Do you see that? How did your grandparents get a house that your parents was raised in? Through a GI Bill, right? That was our way of advance. You said what?
My pop just got one.
Your pop just got one. What? Off a GI Bill. I know my grandma's sitting in the house right now, off a GI Bill. You see what I'm saying? It's always served as a good place of advancement for us, right? That's why so many Negroes just want to hop up, sign me up. All right. But now, see, back then you could sign up and you could go off the war and you coming back. You ain't coming back now from these wars. All right. Arabs is blowing you to smithereens. You ain't coming back, right? And then when you come back, like the PTSD that they're going through, they come back, they kill their wife. You see what I'm saying? Right. You see what I'm saying? Everybody I know that has been over to Iraq and in these recent wars all got this PTSD.
They can't even hear a balloon pop in their own kid's birthday.
Yeah, because there's so many, they've been hearing so many damn gunshots and IEDs going off, blowing people up. You see what I'm saying? Blowing up your Humvee.
Half the homeless people you see, those
are vets, right? So some of them they don't make it. They couldn't take the mental aspect of it. See, the guys that were smart, they went and got in service in the 80s and the 90s because there wasn't no real wars. That was Desert Storm. You see what I'm saying? Outside of Desert Storm, what was the Great War that was going on? Americans were just getting killed, and there wasn't none. You see what I'm saying? But go ahead.
After the Battle of New Orleans, however, support from black militia declined among free people of color. The disrespect shown to the soldiers who fought so valiantly, along with their disappointment at not receiving some measure of political recognition, contributed to their disillusionment.
Meaning they didn't want to keep joining these militias because they said we don't get no respect still. The white man still don't like us. So what's the point in going and fighting for him? Which is very logical thought. But you should still join a black militia and not go fight for the white man, actually. You see? Go ahead.
Anger mounted as Louisiana's white lawmakers embarked upon the unprecedented and sustained attack upon the rights by formulating one of the harshest slave codes in the American South.
So this is after 1814. Now we're moving into later in time. They are reforming their slave codes just for all these free uppity Haitians that's walking around Louisiana, right? Go ahead.
In 1830, the legislature reaffirmed the 1807 ban on the entry of free Negroes and mulattoes.
They said, we put this ban back out, which never worked because 1830 is actually when my family came over. So I know that didn't work. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Orders to ensure the removal of freed people within 30 days of their emancipation.
Meaning if you got your freedom, you had 30 days to leave town, right? Go ahead.
In Louisiana, as elsewhere in the South, segregation, miscegenation laws, and the legal ostracism of racially mixed children signified the imposition of two-category pattern of racial classifications that relegated all persons of African ancestry to a degraded status.
So as they had that three-tier system set up from the French, at this point that's been phased out. It's back to the two-tier system that America had established, right? So go ahead.
Reduced to a debased condition, deprived of citizenship, denied free movement, and threatened with violence. Afro-Creoles, both native-born and immigrant, developed as an intensive antagonistic relationship. Intensely antagonistic relationship with the new regime.
So the so-called Haitian man, going back to the rebellious, matter of fact, let's go back to Genesis 49 and starting at 5, and we'll read it. We'll read either the 6 or 7.
Genesis 49 and 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations.
Read on.
O my soul, come not thou into their secret.
That's dealing with the black magic that Haitians are so prone to doing the Dominicans. Go ahead.
It says, unto their assembly mine honor, and be not thou united.
Do not enter into that assembly, meaning he's not blessing voodoo. All right, go ahead.
For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall.
Talking about the rebellious nature. We've been rebelling all the way back since the literal men, Levi and Simeon. Read.
Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel.
You see, and that's why the Haitians are so rebellious. This is why it says that the Afro Creoles developed an intensely antagonistic relationship with the new regime. Read that again.
It says, for in their anger they slew a man.
I just the curse.
Oh, cursed be their anger, for it was fierce.
It was fierce. Read on.
And their wrath, for it was cruel.
That's that fierce and cruel wrath is talking about. That's why it was it says an intensely antagonistic relationship. We didn't take kindly to that type of treatment. You see what I'm saying? So, and we were ready and willing to meet Esau at his game with that, unlike certain other tribes was doing. We were meeting them with it. Right? Go ahead.
I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel.
That's it on that. Go back here.
It says, under the United States government, Black Louisianans had anticipated an end to slavery and racial oppression, and had looked for the fulfillment of the democratic ideals embodied in the founding principles of the new American Republic.
Yeah, you are so stupid. You actually thought that was about you. The guy who told you all men are created equal had slaves, and said you what 3/5 of a man. And to this day, and you're dumb enough to believe it, man. That was the problem with our people. You sit here just hoping and wishing, thinking, you know what, this is gonna be something. And you know what, this is all men, it's equality, right? You've never seen it. Go ahead.
But contrary to their expectations, the process of Americanization negated the promise of the revolutionary era.
It didn't give anything for you. Yes, there was a revolution that was happening in America, and it meant absolutely nothing for you. Period. Go ahead.
Instead of moving toward freedom and equality, the new government promoted the evolution of an increasingly harsh system of chattel slavery.
So it was just a new form of slavery. That's what it meant. This new reforms in America was just a new form of slavery. Go ahead. Oh, that was it on that.
And then it also carried on again when we were, physically let off of plantations. And then
it was just a new form.
It was a new form.
A wage slavery.
Right, because it got worse. Because after we left the plantations, you had the industrial prison complexes.
Right, prison industrial
Right,
complex.
if you look at slavery, you had it. Some brothers couldn't get out of slavery, right? You could escape.
Yeah.
How many people escape from prison?
Successfully. None. You know what I'm saying? You don't really hear about a success story. This nigga that got out and they never caught it. Wasn't a 5-state manhunt for him. You understand what I'm saying?
Some people escape.
Yeah, allegedly, right? Yeah. If somebody lets you out, you see what I'm saying? Somebody lets you out, then you can get out if it's a part of something. You see what I'm saying? Of course, or you could just go to club fair, or they could say we got this guy in jail. Whole time you're not even in jail. How do I know Martha Stewart did 6 months? How do we know that for sure?
And you mentioned voodoo earlier. Do you mind giving like a quick so people could know how the Haitians had voodoo?
Yes, so matter of fact, we can show it to you in the Bible now. Let's go to matter of fact, give me the Urim and the Thummim, number 1. And also give me Numbers the 5th chapter. All right, because all voodoo is a corruption of the Levitical priesthood that's found in the Bible. That's all it is. Basically taking it and misusing it. You see what I'm saying? So we can take a look at that. First, give me the scriptures, all the scriptures about the Urim you can find. And let me take a look. Matter of fact, Sarge, come here for the time being until Cap comes back, so I can take a look at everything closely. Okay, so let's go. I'll go back to Lucky. Okay, it's Lucky. Okay. So here's what I need. I'm gonna open all the ones I need. I need all those. And then you can hold numbers 5. Go ahead, Sarge. And as a matter of fact, you can get Toby as well. Go ahead.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 27, verse 21.
Uh-huh.
And he shall stand before Eleazar the priest, the counsel for him after the judgment of the Urim before the Most High.
So read that slow again from the side.
And he shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall ask
Eleazar, which is the son of Aaron, right? So Aaron's successor as high priest. He said he shall do what?
Shall ask this counsel.
Shall ask the counsel for him. Read.
After the judgment of the Urim.
Of the Urim, meaning he asked the Lord to give him a sign, and he would have literally a Urim, which is a crystal ball, when the Lord would answer him in that crystal ball. Go ahead.
Before Yahweh, at his word shall they go out.
At his word. So the Most High would literally deliver a message into a crystal ball, and then he would say, okay, we're going to go to war now. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And at his word, they shall come in, both he and all the children of Israel with him, even all the congregation.
Right. So go to the next one.
God. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 8.
And
of Levi, he said,
give me, give me, about the gifts. You give gifts without repentance. Go ahead, read that.
And of Levi, he said, let thy Thummim and thy Urim be with thy Holy One.
You see that? Let thy Thummim and thy Urim be with thy Holy One. It says, let that. Right now, Levi still has the Urim and the Thummim, but not with the Holy One. You see what I'm saying? They're working with the wicked one now. But we still had that power and that ability, right? You got that precept for me? You're going to pull it up right here.
Romans chapter 11. Romans 11 and 29. Gifts and calling of God are without repentance.
Or without repentance. The Lord gives you gifts without repentance.
Meaning you can still be wicked and he's not going to take it away from you because he gave it to you without repentance.
Yeah. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, wicked as hell. He's still the best basketball player of all time. He gave him, God gave it to him. He's got what you call what? God-given talent. You see what I'm saying? He didn't, I mean, of course he's shot in the gym. He worked out and whatnot. But what he has didn't just come from shooting in the gym. It's what you call God-given talent. So when the Lord gives you a talent, it's not, you're going to have that talent. You see what I'm saying? He gave it to you.
Ben Carson.
Biggest coon ever. But hey.
The number one coon is that sheriff.
No. With the white woman, yeah, he is the number one coon of all time, right? But go ahead. He's special. He's got a white grandfather or something. Has to. But go ahead.
Back in Deuteronomy chapter 33 and 8.
And
of Levi, he said, let thy Thummim and thy Urim be with thy Holy One.
So what he's telling them is you're gonna have the Urim and the Thummim, but let it be with the Holy One. Now it's not with the Holy One. They still have it. We still have it. But it's just not with the Holy One. If you can even see it on Eve's Bayou. We've all seen Eve's Bayou, right? What happens? She has the bones. We're gonna get the scriptures about the bones as well. The bones and all that. That's how she's casting a lot. That's a part of the Levitical priesthood to cast a lot. And she's looking at the bones and she's able to tell you what's gonna happen with you. That comes all from the Levitical priesthood. So go ahead.
Whom thou didst prove at Massah, and with whom thou didst strive at the waters of Meribah.
So that's how we earned our place with the Most High, was standing up for the Most High in his righteous cause during the Exodus when nobody else would. Get the other ones?
1 Samuel, chapter 28, verse 6. And when Saul inquired of the Most High.
So Saul, everybody know King Saul. This is during the time Saul and David is having a beef. So he's inquiring, he's begging, he's praying to the Lord, right? What?
Yahweh answered him not.
The Lord didn't answer him. How didn't he answer him? Read.
Neither by dreams.
He didn't send him a dream. Read on.
Nor by Urim. Nor by prophet.
He's asking the crystal ball. He's telling the Levitical priest, ask the Lord. The Lord ain't giving him no information. The Lord ain't sending a prophet to him. Right. It's over for Saul at this point. Go to the next one.
Come. Book of Ezra, chapter 2, verse 63.
Start at 60. At that one. Start at 60.
Verse 60. The children of Delilah, the children of Tobiah, The children of Noda, 652.
So like 61. It's too early. I started too early. 61.
Verse 6.
No, he needs to start there and read down. The point's gonna come at 63.
Verse 61. And the children of the priests, the children of Habiah, the children of Kaz, the children of Barzillai, which took a wife of the daughters of Barzillai, the Gileadite,
which is the tribe of Manasseh. Read on.
And was called after their name.
So these are children that are Levites, but they're being called Gileadites or Manassite, people of the tribe of Manasseh. Read.
These sought their register among those that were reckoned by genealogy.
So they're gathering the Levitical priesthood. Here come these guys who are Levitical priests, but their genealogical records say that they're of the tribe of Manasseh, right? So they say, well, where's your records, right? Read.
But they were not found.
They can't find no records because you reckon under another tribe. Read.
Therefore were they, as polluted, put from the priesthood.
So they say you can't be a part of the priesthood if you can't prove you a priest. Read.
And the Tershatha said unto them that they should not eat of the most holy things till there stood up a priest with the Urim and the Thummim.
He said, until somebody come with the Urim and the Thummim to prove what tribe y'all are from, y'all can't have none of this because we don't know what tribe you're from right now. But with the Urim and the Thummim, they asked the Lord, he'd give it to them right in the ball. Boom, these are Levites. They're good. You see what I'm saying? So that's how it worked, Courtney.
So let me say crystal ball, like, can you kind of explain that? Because like I think of like in the movie they got like a glass.
Like a glass ball. The way it's described, the Urim was like a ball that they put into the breastplate. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't as large as your conventional crystal ball was. But the word Urim in the Hebrew is a warium, which just means lights. So it was basically a small ball of light that would just emit light. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of where it was, but it was just a really small version. They would walk around with it in the breastplate, and then there was the thummim, which was like a pair of dice, which is what they would throw down, and that was also a way that they would cast lots. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it was almost. We can only kind of speculate as to exactly how it will work, but like you say, like the way you're describing it is like some type of damn holographic message will pop up. We don't really know. It's the Most High. He can do whatever the hell he wants. You see what I'm saying? So you know, it is what it is. But that's how it was in that time. You see what I'm saying? So but when you read about it, the scholars, they don't really know how to conclude exactly how they say it worked or anything like that. Right. There was more. That was it, right?
You also got the story of Tobit, right? Where they used
the liver to catch the demon, which we could get. But also, I want to get this scripture about casting a lot. So we go into the Thummim. Aaron had the lots. I got a video on it. It's called for a little bit more information on it, which I did a few years ago, called Voodoo in the Bible. You look up Voodoo in the Bible, you'll be able to see. Really, I was going really in depth, and I don't remember all the scriptures off top, but there's a lot of good information in that. But give me that casting. Or let me see. Let me see. With it has to be with Aaron. Let me see. Oh, right there, boom. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, which this ritual you're gonna read about now is the Day of Atonement ritual that a high priest was supposed to deal with on the Day of Atonement every year for Israel. This similar rituals are done all the time in Haiti in Voodoo. So go ahead.
God. Book of Leviticus, chapter 16. Go to verse 8. And Aaron shall cast lots upon the 2 goats.
So you would take 2 goats and he would cast lots, and 1 goat would be for the Day of Atonement sacrifice, and 1 goat would be for the scapegoat. Tribe of Levi, so-called Haitian in Haiti, is doing the similar thing, casting lots on animals and then killing them all the time in Haiti. Damn it, they got sacrifices burning all day, every day, right? Go ahead.
1 lot for Yahweh, and the other lot for the scapegoat.
For the scapegoat. So that's how we do it. They're casting lots on. That's where the term scapegoat comes. They would just let it out. But what's up? There was a question over here.
All right. right.
I want to ask, okay.
Mhm.
Just because, okay, like, so I have this mother-in-law, right? Well, my ex-mother-in-law, she's white, right?
Mhm.
And she's like a Christian woman, you know, she's your son and daughter, they're half black. You know, so she's not getting into heaven. I'm just a little confused about this whole, like,
Getting into heaven.
like no white people are going to be in heaven.
Oh no.
Can we
You said what?
Like,
We got a Q&A. We can do a Q&A after class. And
No, we open it up with Q&A now.
right
That's
now?
what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm done with the lesson. You're all right.
I didn't know.
You're all right. So now let's get there's gonna be white people in heaven. They're gonna be in heaven. We're gonna show you. Give me Isaiah 14. No, don't worry. She'll be in heaven. Don't worry about it.
Brief second.
She'll be there. All right. It won't be heaven for her, but she'll be in heaven. All right.
Matter of fact, get Amos 9 and 12.
Get that. Yeah, matter of fact, get Amos 9. Get Isaiah 14, 1-3, and then skip to 21. Don't worry, we're gonna show you. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
For the Lord, or for Yahweh, will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose
This
Israel
is talking about heaven, right? This is when the mercy is finally gonna come on the nation of Israel. Read.
and set them in their own land,
Uh-huh.
and the stranger shall be joined with them.
There's going to be other people outside of Israelites that are going to be in heaven with the Israelites, right? Go ahead.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Go ahead.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
Uh-huh.
And the house of Israel shall possess them.
Shall what?
Possess them.
They're going to be there as a possession of the house of Israel. Read.
In the land of the Lord,
Uh-huh.
for servants and handmaids.
That's what they're going to be doing in heaven. Any people that's not Israelites are going to be in heaven as the slaves of the Israelites, right? Go ahead.
And they shall take them captives,
Uh-huh.
whose captives they were.
Uh-huh.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
Uh-huh.
And it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
So that's what they're going to be doing. Get 21, because you also said, what if she's never done anything wrong, etc.? Logical question. Let's see about that. Go ahead.
Verse 21.
Uh-huh.
Prepare slaughter.
14 and 21. Go ahead.
Prepare slaughter
Uh-huh.
for his children.
For his children, read on.
For the iniquity of their fathers,
For the sins of her forefathers, slaughter is prepared for her, right? Go ahead.
that they do not
Same
rise.
way for the iniquity of our forefathers, slaughter got prepared for us, right?
Right.
So it's just all equality, right? Go ahead. That's real equality. White men talk about equality. This is equality, right? Go ahead.
That they do not rise,
Mm-hmm.
nor possess the land,
Uh-huh.
nor fill the face of the world with cities.
There you go, right? So you had Amos. Who got Amos?
Okay, Amos chapter 9, verse 12.
This is great. Go ahead.
That they may possess the remnant of Edom.
So whatever's left, because we of course know that there's going to be a great destruction that's going to take place on the earth, right? So whatever's left of them are going to be a possession. Read.
And all of the heathen, which
Go
are
ahead.
called by my name,
Uh-huh.
saith the Most High. that
And
doeth
all
this.
the other nations, not just the white people, but all these various other nations. We have a very huge feud going on with the Somalian community right now, because they're going to be a part of it. They're very upset about that. You see what I'm saying? So we have a huge feud with the Somalians. We also have a huge feud with the Samoan community behind it. You see what I'm saying? So it's not limited to just white people, right? So go ahead. Oh, there was it on that slide. It was there. You had another. You had something deep.
Nah, I got one.
Oh, go ahead.
Just pertaining to
Okay.
her saying, what if they didn't do anything?
Mhm.
What you got?
I got
No.
you too.
I didn't know Sloan
They're we were slaves to Samoans at one point in time during the Medo-Persian Empire. When you read about that, right? But go ahead.
Romans 9 and 11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil,
Beautiful precept.
that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth.
That's what it's about, right? You had something, Sarge? Go ahead.
Revelation is chapter 2, verse 26.
Mhm.
And he that overcometh and keepeth my words unto the end, to him will I give power over the nation.
So that's what heaven is, getting power over. That's what everlasting life is. A lot of people think everlasting life means you're going to just be immortal. Everlasting life does not mean you're going to be immortal. Everlasting life means your nation of people are always going to have rule and dominion on earth. That's what that means.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Isn't Yahweh gonna conquer death, right?
Yes. He's conquering death. That's why death will no longer enter into the world. John 3:16, world, of course. Going back to Isaiah 45:7, Israel. Death will no longer enter in Israel. Why? Because Israel no longer sin. what are the wages of sin? Death. If we're not sinning, then we're not going to have death.
Yeah, so we will be more.
No, that doesn't make immortality. I'll show you. Give me that in Isaiah. What is it? Isaiah 65, about 60 or 65, I think.
65.
65. Because you have we have the pre-flood examples that we have: Adam, Methuselah, etc. Enoch, right? Did Enoch die? What happened though? He got translated. We're not going to die, meaning we're not going to get cancer. You're not going to get hit by a car, shot in the head, but you will be translated after a certain period of time because there still is a natural cycle that has to occur on the earth. You see what I'm saying? Yes, you're going to get translated into that dimension of existence, that plane of existence where you have. You can definitely say it's definitely above the firmament, wherever it is. You see what I'm saying, right?
Really, the spirit realm is all around.
Well, yeah, technically the spirit world is here, but it's not like you're going to be here haunting anybody. You see what I'm saying?
It can be.
Yeah, it can be anywhere. But go ahead. Because technically it's just another plane of existence or dimension. You see what I'm saying? Not like a physical location. But go ahead.
We went to 65 and what?
65
and was it 15, 16? Get it in the NLT because that's where it makes the most sense at.
Start at verse 20.
It was real simple.
Or start at verse 19. You get the kingdom.
The kingdom connotation.
You know what's funny? Because speaking about the death and like the way that we die, you go into the curses. Curse shall thou be when thou comest in, and curse shall thou be when thou goest out.
I mean, you're gonna die.
Like, yeah, we die painful deaths. Very rarely do you hear about people just going to sleep and not waking up, and it's just painless. Either it's
heart attack,
some
stroke,
disease, some stroke, gunshot,
cancer for 5 years.
Yeah, stab wound, gunshot, staph infection.
all of the above.
Bad. So when you go into the like you said, pre-flood, it says they went and slept with their fathers, and it's just
we just going to sleep.
Pass out.
Yeah, when I first read that, I was like,
what do you mean? Is there just a room where it's just a bunch of niggas sleeping? Just go to sleep, you know? Go ahead.
I don't think that's it in 15, 16.
Where you at?
Yeah, 65.
Let me see.
65 and 20.
Yell at me, man.
Get started at 19 though. Start at 19.
right. Massa needs to get in. I mean,
No, it just has to be white people. They have to.
You didn't just hear what we read about the Haitians? Oh man, that should have wrapped the whole thing up right there.
I just wanted to verify.
Right.
It's just gonna take some time to process all this. He's been trying to break it down. That's all right. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it right. Go ahead.
Isaiah 65 and 19. I will rejoice over Jerusalem and delight of my people, and the sound of weeping and crying will be heard in it no more.
In the kingdom, right? Go ahead.
No longer will babies die when only a few days old. No longer will adults die before they have lived a full life.
So it's not immortality, but you're going to live a full life. We go prior to the flood, you're living 900,000 years. You see what I'm saying? Which, of course, in the sight of the Lord is what? A day.
because like also with Adam, like I originally thought that he wasn't gonna die until he sinned, and then now you can die, right?
Well, yeah, the death that entered into the world, of course, would be these different various ways of painful death, these diseases, all those things. Those entered into the world because, like it said, when they first rebelled, the idea was kind of there, like, oh, they're just was going to die immediately. No, you're not going to die immediately, but now this death option is on the table for you. Where it wasn't on the table for you before, you was going to be good and you was going to be able to live a full life and then receive a peaceful translation. That's why certain prophets were able to just be translated. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of people didn't have that privilege. You had something?
I'm going to some of these questions.
Okay. Okay. But
It's some more on Isaiah 65.
Yeah, finish Isaiah 65.
All right, I got a precept. It says, and then no longer will adults die before they have lived a full life.
Mm-hmm.
No longer will people be considered old at 100.
No longer will you be considered old at 100 because you're going to go back to 900,000 years old. Go ahead.
Only the cursed will die that young.
Only the curse will die that young, which the curse is going to, as it's lifted off of us, is going on to other nations. So they're still going to live their regular lifespans that they live now, but we won't. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
One more, real quick. Damn. 1 Corinthians 15:31, just speaking about the death also. I protest by your rejoicing, which I have in Christ Jesus our Lord, I die daily. And it goes into, you know, like the temptations that we will have to go off, you know, sin entering into the world. And we, like we said, before sin entered in, we were just going to be good. Now we got to fight our flesh with the temptations that are going off.
Right.
So we got to cast and mortify our members and die daily.
That's right.
Yeah, matter of fact, because pre-flood, there was isn't there a scripture that says the Most High was going to shorten the days of wickedness as became so great in the world.
That's when he shortened it 2 different times.
Right. Book of Zechariah, chapter 8, we start at verse 3. Thus said Yahweh, I am returned unto Zion and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem. And Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth, and the mountain of the Most High of hosts, the holy mountain. Thus said the Most High of hosts, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, and every man with his staff.
With his what?
With his staff.
Because of what? Because of very age.
Yeah, that's right.
Because of very age. It said, so you still gonna have a staff because you are still going to get old. You see what I'm saying? But you're just not dying. You're not getting diseases. You see what I'm saying?
Right, because the staff for you use the staff.
Yeah, to help you walk your back, your legs, and to protect the property. That was it on that.
And every man with his staff in his hand for very age.
Well, that's powerful. Oh, okay, good.
Okay, so before we come back to you guys, is it okay to be with a woman who has a child from the past, but both of you are now in the truth?
Yeah, give me John 3 real quick. Give me John 3. And this ain't harped on enough in Israel. In the church, they of course always bring out John the 3rd chapter. John the 3rd chapter is a beautiful chapter that we have to bring out more also. So somebody give me John 3 at the top. Start at the top.
Book of John, chapter 3, verse 9.
You hold Psalms 19:7. Go ahead.
There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus,
Read on.
a ruler of the Jews. The same came to Jesus by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from the Most High. For no man can do these miracles.
Hold on, he's the teacher. Go ahead.
For no man can do these miracles that thou doest except God be with him. Says Jesus answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee.
Look, before he could even answer a question, y'all already went on. Listen, let's just cut to the chase. I don't want you to sit here and just talk about how great I am.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to just get to the point. Go ahead.
It says, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God.
Except a man be born again. All right. When you are re-enlightened to this truth and you get this information and you leave off the things of the world, you are born again.
You're a chaste virgin.
You're a chaste virgin. So whatever the hell that woman was doing or whatever the hell you was doing prior to the knowledge, it's off the table. Get Psalms 19:7.
The book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7. The law of Yahweh is perfect.
It's perfect. Read.
Converting the soul.
Doing what?
Converting the soul.
You hear the laws. They internalize within you and they convert your soul. You are renewed by that. Right? Go ahead.
The testimony of Yahweh is sure, making wise the simple.
So in so many words, with the girl now. Go ahead.
Also, you got to look in if it's okay for a Levirate marriage, then it's okay with the two born again chaste virgins. Do we rely on the new moon to determine the Sabbath, or do we follow the last day of the calendar week?
The new moon. Let's get the scriptures on that. Give me what is that? Isaiah. Give me that in Isaiah. Matter of fact, Ezekiel 46. You said it.
It's Isaiah 66.
Isaiah 66. Get Isaiah 66 first. Yeah, Ezekiel. We're gonna go to Ezekiel 2 because that's plain and clear. We deal in the new moon. Because of this calendar that you have now, is a new, relatively new calendar to the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Did the Most High give you a calendar with various Hooters girls on it from the beginning of time? No, he didn't. All right. He gave you the stars, the moon, and the sun. All right. So go ahead. And go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another.
From what?
And from one new moon to another.
Wait, no, there's a Hooters girl on it. The free? All right, go ahead.
And from one Sabbath to another shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Yahweh.
From one new moon to another. That starts the month. Okay? What is a week subject to? A month. A month is made up of X amount of weeks. A week is made up of X amount of days. All of that is predicated upon the moon. The moon changes every day. Why would the moon change every day if it wasn't your calendar? It is, if you got dropped off on a desert island, you didn't know what damn day it was. How would you know when the Sabbath was? Half moon, when it was a full moon, when it was another half moon, and then when the moon was gone. That's how you would know, plain and simple. Sorry.
And not only that, I think some look at older calendars. I don't know what the new ones doing, but you look
at they have the moon phases on it. The moon phases on it. Right in the bottom. You never knew. You never paid attention to it.
What's that?
They're trying to tell you the real calendar. This is our fake calendar, but if you want to follow the real calendar, we have that for you as well. Right?
Ezekiel.
Is that it on that? Okay, get Ezekiel.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 46, verse 1. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, the gate of the inner court that looketh toward the east shall be shut the 6 working days, but on the Sabbath it shall be open.
On the Sabbath it shall be open. Read.
And in the day of the new moon.
So it shall be shut 6 days, but on the Sabbath and the new moon it shall be open. Letting you know that the 7th day is predicated by the new moon. The Sabbath is predicated by the new moon. For whoever asked the question. Exactly. For whoever asked the question, all you got to do is just type in YouTube SICARRI Lunar. You'll get it, a gang of videos on. Go ahead.
What's the timeline for the end time prophecies like chip, race war, World War III, destruction of America? Am I close? Well, they're going to try to implement the chip, which is going to cause a race war, and at the same time, well, it's like we were taught.
It's all
simultaneous.
It's all
but you're on point with what you quoted.
Yeah, those are all. That's about the last few things on the list.
Enoch's name in the ancient Hebrew.
Kanak.
What does it mean?
It means no, that's Cain. Enoch means to be trained up. Essentially, when you take it back into etymology, Kanak means to be trained up.
Very good question right here. Is there going to be reincarnation after the kingdom is established, since there is no eternal life?
Of course. That's why I said that we're going to the same cycle. It's always going to be that cycle that's never ending of regeneration.
How can I prove? Excuse me.
We'll show you in a second.
How can I prove the book of Jasher is pseudo? I don't believe in it, but I want a quick way to cut it.
Open the book. Read the cover. The government tells you it's the book of pseudo Jasher. Okay, he said, how do we prove the book? Google it. It'll say the book of pseudo Jasher. That should do nothing. Google. What's my source? Google. That's right, brother.
I know the Bible is legit, like the Apocrypha, but what other books were taken out of it? You know,
the Apocrypha.
1611 is God's.
That's God's book. Let's put it on that. That's God's holy book. Okay, that volume of 80 is what you need. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
What about the Dead Sea Scrolls?
The Dead Sea Scrolls. That's a good question. What are the Dead Sea Scrolls? It shows you the vast accuracy of the King James translation. Number one, a lot of people try to say that people have brought up the Dead Sea Scrolls. You ain't read it. You don't know it says the same thing. Number one, and it also has the Apocrypha. But in some of the caves, there were also what some of these quote unquote extra biblicals were found, but they're not the same as the ones that people go out and propagate. Like the Enoch that was found in one of the Qumran caves. Number one was fragmentary, but it's not the same one that everybody's reading today. You see what I'm saying? But go ahead.
How do you know? Because the Bible mentions it. Well, all you got to do is go and study it, and once you see that it's contrary to the Bible,
that's right.
Get Isaiah 8:20 real quick. This brother makes a good point. Anybody could just, like, I could write a book right now and just put Jasher on the title and say, look, guys, it's in the Bible. And if you stupid enough to believe that that's the actual book of Jasher that's being talked about, that's your fault. A lot of people are gullible about the book of Jasher because it's referenced in the Bible. But when you actually investigate the book of Jasher that's being propagated, a white man wrote it in the 1700s. All right. And it don't take a lot of research to find that out.
Have you heard about like I think I seen you looking on like the Book of Matthew or something, some like super off.
Yeah. They have all like the Apocalypse of Barnabas, the Book of Matthew, the Testimony of the 12 Patriarchs, all these crazy books that you never heard of. Like you said, when you read it, it's so contrary. Totally right. And this is how you can. This is the measuring stick here. Get Isaiah 8:20.
Isaiah 8:20. To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word.
If it's against the law and the testimony, read.
It is because there is no light in them.
There's no light in them. Period. So if it goes against what you already know is in the law and the prophets, man, throw that thing out, man. That's garbage.
I told y'all to stop answering questions, man. So if you want to answer questions, if you want to answer people's questions, then you're just going to get blocked because I asked you guys already.
Somebody said that. What does Haitian mean?
What does Haitian mean? It means mountainous land. It comes from the Arawak word that the Semites are speaking, which is it, which just means a mountainous land, because Haiti has a lot of mountains. No, it does not mean hell. Don't let anybody. Number one, Haiti doesn't even start with an H. That's the English way to say it. It starts with an A. So that whole ideology that Haiti means Hades, that's a lie. It, which means a mountainous land. That's why when we meet the Northern Kingdom, if I tell the Northern Kingdom I'm Haitian, they're looking at me crazy and say, no, he's been with me. They'll say, oh, IT, you're from IT. You see what I'm saying? Haitian. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Let me finish these questions.
Go ahead.
One statement, just to the additional letters, additional books. Like I saw today, you got to research it because he showed me about the 1611 online. There's a 1611 online that has an apocrypha. It has they call it, I think it's the letter of Jeremiah, which is really just part of the root. Part of the root.
Yeah, right? Some books have different names. Like Sirach is Ecclesiasticus and it's Ben Sura and all that. You see what I'm saying? Baruch is the letter of Jeremiah, the Song of the Three. Sometimes they come in different names, but it's the same book, right? Go ahead.
Someone asked me if the spirits of the 2/3 being destroyed will come back. Will they be reincarnated at all?
Of course they will.
Romans 11:26 proves that.
All of Israel, yeah, get it real quick. What you think, God is just going to kill? You mean to tell me the nations can come back, but 2/3 of Israel can't come back? Who the Lord sent his only son to die for? Now, how does that sound?
That's how bad they want to cast you.
Even Jay want to cast Jay off. Give me that.
Romans 11:26. And so all Israel shall be saved.
All Israel shall be saved. All. Why is all Israel going to be saved? Quick question for the room. Food, you see that? He's good. All right. Abraham, nothing you did, no law you kept. You ain't righteous. All right. The Lord made a promise to your forefather, and he has to make good on it. That's why you're going to be saved, and for no other reason.
Can you still jack off or no?
Listen, brother, don't ever come on my damn chat room asking no questions. Or not. He said, can you still, like we was teaching, we have a video out. Go ahead, brothers. And
is that still on the table?
What? Hey, listen, go into the law. Hey, brother, work out your own stuff and go into the law and figure it out. I'm not answering no damn masturbation questions. Go ahead.
The 12 tribes chart is for the Western Hemisphere. If you're on the Western Hemisphere, then you definitely go by the 12 tribe chart that we have.
That was a question, or you're answering the question?
One of your captains is sleeping with a Hamite. Is this lawful according to the Bible?
Which one of my captains is sleeping with a Hamite? I have one captain. You sleeping with a Hamite out?
Absolutely not.
So I don't understand. One of my captains is sleeping with a Hamite. Right?
Any lesson on why Solomon will go off on idol worship if he was Yahushua regenerated?
Number one, give me call no man could. He told you. All right. Give me all have sinned and fall short. Come on, man. We got to be serious here.
Matthew 23:9.
Number one, why do you think? And then get me 2 Samuel 7:14. Go ahead.
And call no man your father.
And started when they called him good.
I'm gonna try to get to all y'all questions. If I don't get to your question, repost it again. The next one's gonna be the everlasting shame question.
Would you say 2 Samuel?
2 Samuel 7:14. That's crazy.
What you looking for?
Call no man good.
Calleth.
Call it.
Call it no man.
Oh, no, that ain't it.
Matthew,
Like
it's
that.
Matthew 18. I believe.
So,
If not,
hey, it's Mandela effect.
Listen, man, that's just tripping me out. I know it's just call no man good with the
It's nothing. It's nothing.
That's what I heard.
let me
Go put in good master. Put in good
I'm
master.
gonna just answer this real quick.
Go ahead.
The 2/3 are not going to come back in the kingdom
Matthew,
ashamed every time they come. That's going to be like a one-time deal. We're not going to oppress our people for a damn eternity.
Yeah, people want to just oppress other black and Hispanic people in the kingdom of heaven and just not let them live in their own kingdom. You see what I'm saying? Okay, they got judged. They got their number one. They went to the lake of fire. That's not bad enough. Damn, man. Go ahead. And listen, and they're going to rule. Because the 1/3 in the elect is going to be off the scene after 1,000 years. It says, these shall reign with Christ 1,000 years, right? So then what's going to happen after 1,000 years? You get translated after 1,000 years. So who's going to rule the world? Those 2/3 that came back through your loins, right? Lord, when we beat those men, we don't know. Go ahead.
Matthew 19:16, and behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life?
Read.
And he said unto him, Why callest me good?
So he said, why are you calling me good? First off, he let you know right there. Read.
One, that is the Most High. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments.
So he said, look, just keep the commandments, right? What good thing? Letting you know you can't call him good because he messed up on doing that good thing at one point in time, right? And we're going to go here to prove it. Two more precepts to prove it. Go ahead.
Book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 23.
Uh-huh.
For all have sinned and come short of the glory
Is there an exception?
of Yahweh.
Is there an exception? It said all have sinned, right? So now let's go to 2 Samuel so we can prove it. Go ahead.
Book of 2 Samuel, chapter 7, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
But my mercy shall not depart away.
Uh-huh. This is Samuel giving a I might be saying, yes, Samuel giving a prophecy to David in regards to Solomon from the Most High. Said his mercy shall not depart away. Read.
From him,
Uh-huh.
as I took it from Saul,
Uh-huh.
whom I put away before thee.
Go ahead.
And thine house and thy kingdom shall be established forever before thee.
Read on.
Thy throne shall be established forever.
Uh-huh.
Keep going.
Keep going.
According to all these words and according to all this vision, so did Nathan speak unto David.
No, that's where you at?
I'm 2 Samuel 7:15.
You're at 2 Samuel?
Con.
You sure?
Con.
it's first Samuel. It's first Samuel.
He said,
What do you say?
You said what? It's 1 Samuel?
Check it.
Go ahead. Go ahead, man.
I don't know if it's Samuel judge Israel. That one.
No, what? That's what I'm saying. Let me see. It's 2 Samuel 7:14. Give me that damn thing, man. Give me that damn tablet.
no, you keep it. I'll just put it up on mine. 2
Somebody.
Samuel
Most High in Christ.
1:14.
No, 7.
14.
He was reading 15.
Con.
That's your damn problem right there. You got it, Cap.
2 Samuel
Sarge dropped the
7:14.
ball. Go ahead.
I will be his father, and he shall be my son.
So this is the prophecy that the Most High is giving David in concern of Solomon. He said, I shall be his father and son, right? Didn't he say when Yahushua was baptized by John the Baptist, this is my son, right? Read.
If he commit iniquity, I will chastise him with the rod of men.
Did Solomon commit iniquity?
Yes.
Yes, he did. Was he chastised with the rod of men? No, he wasn't. That's why Christ had to go through something called the crucifixion. Go ahead.
And with the stripes
Where
of
were
the
the-
children of men.
Where were the rod of men and the stripes of the children of men for Solomon?
Right.
He died a peaceful death. Did Christ have a rod and stripes? He certainly did in the gruesome crucifixion, right? So that's the full circleness of all of it, right? Go ahead.
That was it.
That was it on that. Next question.
What would be the proper way for us to observe the coming Feast of Weeks, since we aren't in Jerusalem anymore?
I mean, the same way you celebrate essentially any feast is a day of remembrance upon a memorial of that. All right, because as said, we can't really execute a feast properly. You see what I'm saying? Being we not having a temple or a tabernacle or anything of the such. So I mean, all you have to do is come together, congregate, celebrate, and feast, and you know, rehearse. All we can do is rehearse. Get Judges 5 and 11.
If we were to buy our own land, would it be unjust to build a tabernacle nowadays?
You said what?
Would it be unjust to like build a tabernacle?
Yeah, it would be unjust to build a tabernacle because number one, we don't have all the necessary materials, and if you're going to build a tabernacle, technically you would need a Levitical priest to execute in the tabernacle. You see what I'm saying? But like on Passover, when you kill a lamb on Passover, that's not a Levitical. And every house was to kill their own lamb on Passover. So if you kill your own lamb on Passover, that's fine, right? But any other time, like you're trying to do a sacrifice, it's improper. You see what I'm saying?
Wasn't there Amalekite or something that was trying to do that? Rebuild the temple.
Oh yeah. Which exactly. They're trying to rebuild the temple and do all the stuff again.
Why is Peter called son of Jonah?
Because his daddy's name was John.
Can you explain Colossians 2 and 16?
Colossians 2 and 16. We have a whole matter of fact. Ain't that what's Colossians 2 and 16? It was everything was nailed to the cross.
Yeah.
We have a video on that. Yeah. Which this brother actually was the inspiration. He asked me that question, so we did a whole video on it. You see what I'm saying? So look, but I want to say it starts at 18. But go ahead.
Colossians 2 and 16. Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of a holiday or of the Sabbath days.
So what do people think that means that you can eat pork now? Because it says, let no man judge you in meat, right? Let me ask y'all something. Give me put in half the devil. Put in half the devil for me. These phones, man. Bible, you just open it. Boom.
Matthew 11 and 18. For John came neither eating nor drinking.
Eating nor what does that mean? Did he eat or drink ever in life? Of course he did. But he didn't eat meat and he didn't drink alcohol, right? Go ahead.
And they say he hath the devil.
They judged him in meat, right? Because he didn't eat meat and he didn't drink alcohol. They thought something was wrong with that man. That's what it means, let no man judge you in meat, all right? Doesn't mean you can eat unlawful meat. You see what I'm saying? Officer. Honey and locust, which of course, if we seen it eating honey and locust, I'm gonna say why are you eating grasshoppers, man? What is wrong with you? You can go and get the locust burritos, man. Issachar serve you the locust burrito. Yeah, he knows. He knows.
They have to get ready.
Yeah, hey, you don't know what you're gonna be eating in the wilderness. Like you had some saying.
Yeah. Back in the day, wasn't judgment getting stoned?
So yes, judgment is getting stoned. A lot of people forget that. People say, "Don't judge me just because you say something." Judgment is when I start throwing rocks at your head and I kill you. All right, that's judging you in truth, right? But go ahead.
Did Israelites pray in the name of David before Yahushua?
No.
They came in the name of David, but they didn't
pray in the name of David. Number one, how you would pray, you would number one pray directly to the Most High, and your intercessor would be the high priest who you would go and give your sacrifice for. So you had an intercessor that was your high priest. You didn't pray in the name of that high priest because you would go and meet him directly and give him what you would need, and he would make intercession on your behalf, right? So go ahead.
Hamite loving.
Don't entertain anything like that. Just keep it.
How come you guys curse sometimes? Is it not allowed in the Bible? Please elaborate on swearing, etc. Swearing
and cursing have nothing to do with saying the words that you've been told by your mother were swearing and cursing. But I mean, whatever. We don't have to use those words. We use them sometimes. It's not that big of a deal. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me say this. A curse in the Hebrew and the Greek means it's synonymous to wish death and evil on somebody. which we can if
which
we
is
want to.
okay.
What you will be trying to say is, why do we use rude speech? So go ahead.
2 Corinthians 11:6. But though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things.
You see, so we're breaking all these scriptures now,
Right.
giving all these understanding, and you mad because somebody said a 4-letter word. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't. All right, don't be mad about that.
This is for the camp. What do you say to someone? Oh, I answered that already. What about going down on your wife? Is it lawful?
Give me the marriage bed undefiled, please.
Yeah.
I guess he really wants to know. All right.
Somebody already confounded him, like, dude, are you this lustful? That's all you
He just wants to know.
Beat off and eat.
This brother, man.
Got beat off a muff guy.
All right. I'm going to answer this question for the sake of your wife. Okay.
Yeah.
For the sake of your wife, this question will be answered, my brother. All right.
This is Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4. It says, marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers the Most High will judge.
What you do with your wife is your business, unless, of course, you're whoremongering, which is dealing with selling yourself or your wife and committing adultery. Okay, so stay away from fornication, unlawful or prohibited sex. Anything outside of that, it's your business. Stop asking about it, please.
Jason Moore, you are not the king of Jerusalem. You are on track.
Jason Moore, we have the king of Jerusalem in the room right now.
Yeah,
oh my God. He don't got his own live stream. He's a king.
He's blocked like the rock. Is physical circumcision a must?
Yes, yes, it is. Give me the minister of circumcision. Hey. All right. Give me the minister of circumcision.
Carlton, you're making sure you're keeping the law 100%. And keep the law 100%.
Let me tell you something, Carlton. If you can't go on a law and if you can't see what you're talking about prohibited by law, then don't worry about it. But go ahead.
Romans 15:8. Now I say that Yahushua was a minister of the circumcision.
He was a minister of circumcision, right? Go ahead.
For the truth of God, to confirm the promises made unto the fathers.
And what was the covenant of the promise made with our fathers? When Abraham circumcised himself. That was the covenant of it. So we are all bound by that same thing. What else we got?
Does John 3:16 contradict Exodus 4:22? I'm gonna give you guys 7 more minutes.
No, of course it doesn't. Because everyone still is going to be put to death before their sins. All right, there's just going to be a certain people.
Only begotten son, because Exodus 4:22 says Israel is my first.
We'll get Exodus. Number one, I love it when people play that game, and number one, we're gonna cut it real quick.
I have one. You go to Jeremiah 31:9. It says Ephraim is his firstborn.
Exactly.
So
does that contradict it?
You guys are playing the game.
But again, the only begotten son is not firstborn. That's 2 different things, right? Now, but watch this. I'm going to prove to you how he is the firstborn. Get Luke. Give me like Luke 2:7. Go ahead.
Read Exodus 4:22. Exodus chapter 4, verse 22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn.
Oh, it's his firstborn, right? Okay. So give me that in Luke.
Come. Verse 7, and she brought forth her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling clothes.
Who is her firstborn son? This is Mary bringing forth who the world calls Christ, her firstborn son, right? Go ahead.
And laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn.
So he's the firstborn, right? Read this.
Exodus 34:20. But the firstling of an ass thou shalt redeem with a lamb, and if thou redeem him not, then shalt thou break his neck. Of thy sons.
So like, you know what? That's not the one I want. Hold on 1 second. This is what I want. 3:13.
Numbers 3:13. Because all the firstborn are mine.
All the firstborn are mine. So he's the firstborn of his family. Therefore, he is the Lord's firstborn. All the firstborn are his. You see that? Come on, yo. You said what? Firstborn of the men. Firstborn of the men. It'll say the firstborn of all the sons of Israel, both of man and beast. You see all the sons. right? The only time that a woman would be considered firstborn is if you just don't end up having any sons. Then that's covered in like Numbers, the 30th chapter. What happens in that instance? If you don't have any sons, then your daughter would be your firstborn. Then your inheritance would be given to her, and she wouldn't be allowed to marry outside of her tribe. Right? That way, the inheritance would stay in the tribe. Go ahead.
The Holy Spirit is not a mindset; it's actually a spirit and living being.
Okay.
I'm answering your question.
Oh, it's like yeah. We know. Nah. Yeah, how is the Holy Spirit going to be a mindset?
No, it's a sister.
Okay. It's all right, sis. All right.
Listen, Blackbeard, whatever you heard that day when you smoked crack is not true, bro.
There's a lot of crackheads in the room tonight, huh?
Look,
a lot of good dope.
If you don't know the answer, stop talking. Oh, no, he's probably talking to other people. And I'm like, oh, why are you on the comment board?
Okay, I have a question.
Galatians
So
2 and
what
21.
So there's like all these rules, right?
Mhm.
All these
A lot of rules.
Yeah. So what if you don't follow all of them? Like it's hard. I think it's hard.
Well, give me Philippians 4 and 13. I'm gonna show you.
If you're trying your best, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Because
Okay. We're gonna see what the book says. Philippians 4 and 13, right here. Don't worry about it.
Philippians chapter 4, verse 13.
Hey, spoiler alert. You've heard this one before. Go ahead.
Philippians 4 and 13.
Uh-huh.
I can do all things through Christ, who would strengthen me.
Christ to strengthen you, right? Now, the balance of that is, of course, we all are going to fall short, but that's not an excuse to be wicked. You see what I'm saying?
They got that Ciroc.
Yeah, no excuse. You see what I'm saying? The Lord is not giving any man at any time a license to sin.
Yeah,
so you need to be striving at all times to keep the law of flesh.
You can't be saying, I'm just really trying not to have sex with multiple men. Really
I'm not trying to be a whore. I'm just like, I'm trying not to eat pork, but you go down and you order a BLT. You see what I'm saying? I remember when I first came in, I said I'm going to stop eating pork. I ordered a BLT. I didn't even think about it. I was like, man, I thought you was going to stop eating bacon. Oh, you're right. I threw it away. You see what I'm saying? I'm good. That's how you try. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead. There's more questions?
Galatians 2 and 21. Can you
Galatians 2?
How do you explain this to a Christian?
Okay.
Galatians 2 and 21. I do not frustrate the grace of God, for if the righteousness in Christ is dead in vain.
Of course, because you're not going to be righteous just by keeping the law alone. Why aren't you going to be righteous just by keeping the law alone? All the laws by yourself. Yeah. Number one, and every time you do break a law, you're supposed to bring a sacrifice for that law. And ain't no way you could even bring a sacrifice. You ain't got no damn goat. You ain't got a ram, and you ain't got a priest in the temple that's executing these things for you. Yeah. But you have a sacrifice in the form of Christ on the cross. All right. Go ahead, precept.
We got 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Go ahead. Let me read the precept.
Revelation 14 and 12. Here is the patience of the saints.
Go ahead.
Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus.
And the faith. You having faith and believing that there was a guy that got on the cross and then rose again and all of that.
Because you couldn't keep the law.
Because you couldn't keep the law. Because you was messing up. Yeah. Somebody had to give their life. Right? So if you have the faith in that and keep the commandments, faith and works cohesively, those are who's going to be saved. Go ahead.
This 6-point symbol, this is the pomegranate and lily. Just look up SICARRI pomegranate or SICARRI Star of David.
And you'll hear it's not a star. All right, number one. Don't call it that. What else we got? As the clock winds down.
Are women permitted to ask questions on here?
Yes.
Yes, but
I mean, you hear a woman in the room asking questions.
Wait, is that a woman asking that question? Would you just ask the
question? Do you have a husband? That may change the situation a bit. But yes, women are, of course.
Is Esau already getting wiped out because Jake is taking their women?
Wow.
Well, he's taking your woman. So, I mean, as much as you see more black people with white women, you see more white men with black and Hispanic women. So, I mean, right?
What's the difference between the Holy Spirit and the Holy Ghost? Same thing.
Nothing.
Not being
like
nasty.
It's a ghost that's just going around people.
Not being nasty. Look, not being nasty, but is sodomy with your wife wrong?
Yes, it is.
And it will land you in the lake of fire.
Do not, whatever you do, commit sodomy with a woman. That's crazy.
Let me give you guys some great understanding. Let me give you guys some great understanding.
Yes, it is.
The word fornication goes back to the Greek word porneo, which is comprised of 4 things: sodomy with a woman, bestiality, homosexuality,
and adultery.
That's fornication. All right. Is it mandatory I get circumcised? Yes.
Yes, get circumcised.
Put a chip in me while I'm asleep through surgery.
No, stop. Don't listen, man. Have faith in God for once in your life, man. That's why Yahushua said, "Oh, you faithless generation, man. If you have faith the grain of a mustard seed, you would be able to move them out." People are just gonna get chipped. If you're gonna get chipped, you're gonna get chipped. Period. All right, ain't no way around it, man. You get chipped, you wasn't chosen, buddy. All right. You mean to tell me you gonna go fulfill the laws of God, and He's gonna allow somebody to just say, "Oh, we're doing an operation on your penis, but I'm just gonna put a chip in your." We got to start thinking logical. So knock our out. You said what? You can circumcise yourself. All right. Men have done it. Okay. Powerful brothers, right?
Last one. Is Gorilla Hebrew an Edomite or not?
I mean, how am I an Edomite? My dad is black, man. So how can I be Edomite?
And last one, Daniel 7 and 13.
I thought it was a Hamite. What happened?
Daniel 7 and 13 isn't a fulfillment of prophecy.
Future.
A fulfillment of future prophecy?
Isn't a future prophecy, correct? Or is it not a future
Daniel
prophecy?
7 and 13? It
is a future prophecy. It's Yahushua coming with the clouds and
and presenting the kingdom
over the
nation. Yeah, exactly. Definitely. It's a messianic prophecy. And that's why Old Testament only hate the book of Daniel.
So do so-called.
You so-called Jews say that it's not. Remember, Kevin was bringing it out.
Cursed is the one.
Because it just kills them.
We may be willing to do counsel upon certain circumstances. Just reach out. That's pretty much
Hit
it.
him on Facebook. I'm not available. But yeah, with that, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.